welcome. And spoiler warning, this best rock groups ever list of mine will probably turn your shit white. Yeah. You know, your fecal matter is turning white. Yeah. It's gonna be horrific. For some, it will be blasphemy. For others, it would be pure, what the hell? And for others, maybe it actually, if I'm all kidding aside, I do not expect anybody to write. I am totally 100% in agreement with your list, sir. No. Because this is my list, and you know the game. I don't have to sit here and, say a lot of things before I announce my list, just in case you should go to the keyboard and be whatever upset. On this channel, we are all adults, I rarely have hate comments. I cannot remember the last time I got something. Anywho, maybe this will be the first. You never know. So, without further ado, let's just dive right into it, because we got a lot of things to cover. I think I will split this up in two parts, because we have 20 groups, and I am only concerning about groups, not solo artists. So, for example, you will not hear Prince on the list, Frank Zappa. Elvis Presley is off the limit. I see that as another way of, expression when it comes to music. It's right there in the word. It's solo. It's like a more, it's me. I'm the one, like Alice Cooper after Welcome to My Nightmare, including. It's cool. I get it. I get it. So, but this is not that list. This is groups, and it's all over the place in rock. I'm not going into pop, because that's would be a bee's knees. I'm not listening to pop anyway. I'm not going into what jazz. That's a better example. Jazz is groups. For the most part, it's a group effort. But I'm circling around rock. You will find out, and why not just start it? Just jump right into it. This is video number 1. And yes, if you're new to the channel, let me please remind you, I am from Denmark. So if you think my language is, or I switch words around where they don't belong, I say he instead of her, or was instead of is. Stuff like that happens on my show. But the number 20 spot would have to go to a group that sounds like this. There's actually a spoiler. This is not the number, but they made a song about this guy. Yeah, if you don't know the guy, you don't know the guy. I'm not trying to be an asshole, because the name I don't think would help you. Freezer. Yeah, if you don't know the guy, it's like, okay, Freezer. Freezer who? So yeah. And And we're not gonna listen to a lot, we're just gonna listen to a little snip of every part so you... Okay. So, and then it goes on and it evolves and evolves, and you know, you got a little snip, a little tidbit, a little tease, and I don't even think I have to explain. If you're into badass rock music in a progressive way, you would love this band. This band has everything a growing boy or girl would need. You know, they are all over the place. It's almost like impossible to describe the band. It gets funky, it gets poppy, it gets sing-along folk bar music that I'm especially thinking of a German band called the Tote Hosen. All of a sudden they get into that country, a bar type sing-along tune, especially with the harmony they make. That's the reason I'm thinking of the German band Tote Hosen. Yeah, Tote Hosen. But it's much more than that. It has some Diane Gray vibes, what do you want to call it. You got the awesome growling. You got a drummer. That actually was the drummer who sang in the opening bit. And yeah, they're just freaking awesome. That's my number 20. My number 19 is a different beast. Not totally. Let's just give it 2 seconds. Welcome to Speed Trash Fucking Metal. Dave Lombardo. You feel like shouting hee-haw, you know. Yeah, man, I think you get the picture. I think you get the picture. If not, you probably have some hearing problems. You know what I mean? If you're into fast-paced rock music, aka speed metal, thrash metal, whatever, punk rock stuff, inspired, you know, awesome sauce you're thinking of, this will fit the bill, Mr. Bungle. And I'm also choosing Mr. Bungle because it's not only that, but it's also that, or this, you know. This is actually a remaking of a early demo done with even better musicians and doing it when they are older, you know, and I guess felt it was time to go back to the well and bring up the bucket with the awesome, you know, awesome stuff in it. Mr. Bungle is a lot, and it's almost impossible to describe it if you don't know the group, what it is. It is first of all Mike Patton. If you don't know what it is, What if you don't know what Mike Patton is? Well then, my friend, if you're really into rock music and you don't know that name, I would say help is on the way. Actually, I could have this guy a lot on my list, on my 20 list, but I choose the Mr. Bungle, and they're getting, also because it was his first, and in my opinion, the most interesting sounding in the long run. I think they hold up the best to the old hype, you know. So yeah, Mr. Bungle is number 19.
Begging you get.
Yeah, man. No matter how many times I hear this sound this group has, and by the way, my number 18 best groups ever, Bandmate. It just sounds like pure freaking rock butter. That's the best way I can describe it. The lead singer's voice is one of the most pleasant voices I ever heard. I almost cannot get enough of how she is sounding. And then you have the band that delivers freaking stellar, in my opinion, hard rock soundtrack to that voice. And a choir from time to time, but that's a longer story. This is rock and roll perfection, I would say. It's again, we also will not forget what we all call, who are fans of the group, Drumzilla. The drummer in itself is like, forget about just calling her awesome. She's almost like, you know, it's I would say that's a cult favorite. Drummer, Drumzilla. She's so she's got so much. It seems to be like it's so effortless. She looks like she's having tea while playing the best drums you ever heard. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. So that's Bandmate, and that's enough said. Pure brillante.
I might be moving to Montana soon, just to raise me up a crop of dental floss, raising it up, waxing it down, in a little white box I can sell uptown. By myself I wouldn't have no balls, 'cause I'd be raising my lonely dental floss, raising my lonely
dental floss. And now somebody will think, hey man, that's a solo artist. No, it's not Dweezil Zappa. This is Zappa Plays Zappa. That's a band, in my opinion. I'm making the rules, so it's pretty easy. I think this is, all kidding aside, this is not a solo project. This is I saw them live in Denmark doing this concert, and it's a band. As you can hear, this number, it's not this guy singing, Dweezil, but what was his name? Murphy Brock? Something, I can't remember, to be honest. But the guy you heard sing was the guy who also sang in the early Frank Zappa days. And this just gave me a reason to have some Frank Zappa on the list. I see this as a group. This is a group effort, and it differs. You know, it could also have at a few days Steve Vai in it, and others. There is a key group in the group, and that's also why I see it as a group. A female who sings a lot, can't remember her name either. A small handful, I would say. The drummer is returning often. As I said, the female singer on keyboard who sings a lot and even plays a mean saxophone. And that's also why I really see this as combined as a group. All kidding aside, for me this is a cover band. Why did I not just say that? But yeah, the leader of the cover band is Frank Zappa's son, and it's the most beautiful musical expression I ever saw in my life of a thing called genetic inheritance. You know, it's fantastic. None other than fantastical. And that is why they go on my list as number 17. Number 16.
Our Father in heaven, thy name be hallowed. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah, man. Number 16. Frankie.
I'll protect you from the hooded claw. Keep the vampires from your door.
This is just beautiful. Period.
Feels like fire. I'm so in love with you. Dreams are like angels, they keep at bay. Love is the light, scaring darkness away.
Yeah. Damn. If it's still necessary for me to explain why I need Frankie Goes to Hollywood on my best of list, rock and roll, I don't know what to say after this. I know, you need more than just like to say it's awesome. But yeah, if you know the rest of the catalog, Frankie, and especially that debut double album, that's the most underrated rock and roll album in history, if you ask me. And not, the buck doesn't stop there. Frankie Goes to Hollywood is probably the most underrated rock and roll band also in history, because they never got a place in that, history that they deserved. People did not understand what it was. The non-fans did not. Even some of the fans did not, because maybe they were in it for other reasons. But what I heard was pure fucking fresh, very new rock and roll type music, but it was very grounded in old school rock and roll. That was easy to hear. So, and the production, especially on the debut album, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, is like almost, again, in that genre, that era, it was almost unmatched. Trevor Jones, fucking cool. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, fucking cool. A powerhouse performance band. I love the lyric, or I should say the voice of Holly Johnson. He's definitely in the sassy department. So I always been a big fan of Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And yes, I even love the obvious hits, War, Two Tribes, Relax. But the group is much more than that. That even this one is on the debut, on side D or C, I don't know. The Power of Love. So that's it. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Yes, moving on to number 15. So, are you ready? What's that? So, is your shit turning white yet? Wowee. That's just nasty good baby metal. Yes, I can almost feel in advance, though it's not uploaded at this point, but I can almost feel old timers going, what the fuck, man, that's it. See you. Click. But I gotta stick with my guns, baby metal. I have since day one I heard them been in love with this band, and for me it was an easy jump in the fire situation, and I cannot fathom the resistance of the old metal guard that keep still after 10 plus years totally annihilating every, I was about to say, band in the way. Talk about a success story concerning heavy metal as we know it. They should be ashamed not to not like it, but at least acknowledge that baby metal is here to stay and times are changing. I guess you have to knock off that boomer, vibe. You're digging so much. It doesn't suit you. Wake up, little snoozy. Smell the smelling salt. The smelling salt has a name. Baby metal. Enough said. Spot number 15. Very well deserved, in my opinion. Yes, sirree, Bob. What do we have? What do we have? Yeah, man. Freaking Pearl Jam, number 14, from Seattle with a bullet. And yes, I might add, this is a very new band in my world, and I only heard one whole album and some snips. But this 10 is the name of the album. It really fucking blew my mind. And the more I listened to it after, even I made a video about it, the whole album, the better it gets, the more in tune I get to the way he sings. It's got a lot of elements. I was about to say, if you never use the word grunge to describe music, you could almost also call this, I was about to say, progressive. It's I just love it. So without beating around the bush, Pearl Jam is neatly, jumping in to my spot number 14. When I started making the list, they were not in my 20, but I was listening to music doing the list, and it's just like, okay, who am I kidding? So I don't know what else to say than this is a newer band in my world, but they have really surprised me, as another band also have, who's new to me, who's also on the list. Pew, pew. Yes, it's getting really exciting. Or is it? I don't know. Pearl Jam, that's great. Love it. Love the funkiness, and the blues vibe, and the whole. The Seattle scene have some very top-notch musicians. I discovered recently, and that concerns the whole department, from drumming to bass to guitar to writing to singing. So I'm a big fan. I'm a new fan, and I cannot see myself get bored of this very soon. So yeah. Yeah man, it's about to get weird in here, man. Weird. You know what I mean? Can I get the claw? If you're a fan, you know what I'm talking about. Doing the claw.
Hey, hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
Yeah. It's almost like, look out. Spot number 13 goes to.
Well, I like the way you shake that thing, watch honey drip, I can't keep away.
Yeah man. Spot number 13. I could listen to this all day. I could sit on an island by myself with a case of beer and a Burger King Whopper cheese, extra ketchup, milkshake, and listen to this. This is awesome, baby. Man alive. Led Zeppelin does not get talk about most underrated rock and roll band in history. Scratch that. That's Led Zeppelin. After that, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Man, I could praise this from here and back to Jerusalem. I don't even know what I'm saying no more. Led Zeppelin. The only thing that concerns me right now, to be honest, is why the hell is that not my number one? I'm just kidding, but frankly not. Some days it could be, and then I get, okay, I wake up again and it's like, okay, I cannot have Led Zeppelin on my top 5 or top 10 maybe. Maybe top 10. Maybe it's a crime I didn't put them in top 10. I'm sorry. But Led Zeppelin, you have to stay at number 13. Somebody had to do that, and that somebody is you. But my goodness. Can I please just give me 5 seconds to say I love Todd Elvis? Yes. And I even also love Bob Marley, Bud Boy, Charlie Hodge, everybody who is in the project, but especially Todd Elvis. I would love to see that documentary. I guess we never see it. But what an interesting band, and what a great band. And yes, praise the Lord. He gave us Led freaking Zeppelin. Amen. Yeah, man. Don't get lost in the sauce, baby. Black Sabbath.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brain.
Damn, let's just knock it off, man. You know the song is fantastic. It's fantastic. And it's the group we're talking about, not the song. And talk about, he's singing about an anti-war song. And what do the world need right now? Enough said. This is more, important than ever, almost, this song and the group. The group. There's nothing else to say. It's Black Sabbath. And excuse me for being blunt or very frank, or just like to be the older one here, if I'm just kidding also. But if you don't know Black Sabbath, you need to stop this video right now and go to listen to some Black Sabbath, because they're pretty important. So, number 11. Clutch. Yeah.
Well, you made me weep, and you made me moan. When you caused me to leave town, my happy home. But someday, baby, you ain't ruin my life.
Serious CC Top 5. Yes, man, yes. That's impossible to stop. I had to fight some demons off. That's crazy good. And that's why Clutch is number 11 on my list. Not that number alone is crazy good. That's crazy good. Yeah, even the phone agree. But damn, Clutch. Talk about underrated. It's not the most underrated. That's Dread Zeppelin and then Frankie. But Clutch is pretty underrated. Did I say over? Hope not. But yeah, do keep in mind I'm from Denmark, as I used to say. And I know that's also an issue with somebody. I guess it could be. I can easily imagine someone thinking the Clutch is over Black Sabbath. See you. But it is in my world. This list, I might add also, it's also very much a picture of what I just listened to the most. And that means that's the bands I love the most. I would rank highest, and in this order. I listen to more Clutch than Black Sabbath, and so on and so forth. You the higher you get up on the list, that was my list, my first 10, the bottom of my top 20, and Clutch is at the tippy top of that bottom, and in my head that makes sense. So yeah, it's how it is, and I will expect that someone would think, oh my God, that guy has lost his marbles or something like that, calling Frankie Goes to Hollywood a rock and roll band and so on. But I'm sticking to the guns. Go back. They're making covers of the E Street Band, but the rock and roll version of the E Street Band, not the touchy-feely, the up the river or down the river or all that jazz. Yeah, and it is what it is. It's just like my opinion, man. I could say it in a lot of different ways, but this is a list I will defend in any court. And if your fecal matter did not turn to the white side of things, or said in another word, really dried out your fucking turd. It's not a pretty picture, but it's fun. It's like you imagine somebody's turd is getting dried out. That's a pretty dumb thing to do. That's gnarly. It's like turning your hair white in a horror movie, but with the fucking douche. Fun stuff for the whole family to enjoy. And but yeah, I don't know if my top 10 is gonna be more shocking. We will have to see. That's up for you to decide. For me, none of this is shocking. And I also have honorable mentions, but I think we're gonna save it to the next one. And yeah, let's see how it goes. This is a part 1 out of 2. So be on the lookout for the final conclusion to this video. And so far, thank you for watching. Domo arigato. I love you. See you on the next video. Bye now.